at university, I try my best to do as well as I can. I'm also involved with a charity called War Child. I'm the president of the club at McMaster for this next year. Like, we raise money and awareness for wars and atrocities going on, basically for my number one priority, which is children, and as was spoken today by Sally, that really are the biggest, that's where my heart goes the most, because they're the most helpless victims during all wars. They have been pushed into it because of the decisions made by people that have control over them, and that's the saddest state of affairs. I spent a lot of time alone preparing myself mentally for what kind of hell I was going to walk into, because there's no other way to describe it other than hell, because I've just accepted that if I try and make sense of this situation, then I become lost as a human being. We're in Birkenau, Auschwitz Birkenau, and Birkenau 2.
Why am I in this place today? Not really. Some people feel that, I'm not that connected because I really wasn't in this camp, in this, and people have a tendency to put sort of a hierarchy on the suffering. This is something that I have struggled with quite a lot. I never totally been accepted as a Holocaust survivor, so to speak. But this place has altered my entire life. And I don't know what my possibilities could have been had there not been an Auschwitz. I am very, very honored when I keep coming back here with groups such as yourself, all the other groups that I've been with, and not only am I honored that you are all here, but I am honored because you're here to honor the victims, to honor and to remember them, because thousands upon thousands of Jewish and Christian victims, we will never know their names, we will never know where they came from, and they must be honored and remembered. I am going to read you my mother's letter that she left, the one that she wrote to her sister. I only discovered this letter that was written in Yiddish 10 years ago. I'm going to read this to you because I feel that it is important that you hear the content of this letter. And also because my mother could never have imagined, ever, that a day would come, she knew she was going to her death, that thousands of people will hear what she wrote, because I personally, over the last 10 years, have read this letter to thousands of people. Imagine a very simple, uneducated, young Jewish woman from a shtetl in Poland. So I think that that's a great honor for me to read this to you and for you to hear it as soon as I stop crying. And
love you, Sally. My hero.
I have come to the place where my grandfather suffered for I don't even know how long. As far as I'm told, like, he died the same year I was born, so I never got an opportunity to speak with him. Just walking around and having a friend of mine pass me a stone that he found on the ground and said, "Here, put this in your pocket, because I guarantee, like, your grandfather would have stepped on this ground." And that to me means more. That means the world to me. It's my blood.
In this letter, my mother refers to me by my Jewish name, which is Shendel, and my father's name is Itzhak. So you'll know who she's referring to. She writes, the letter is dated Dąbrowa, July 27, 1943. My dear sister and brother-in-law, I know you will receive this letter. I am writing to let you know that Itzhak was taken away and I have not heard from him. I have been without him for 3 years. I managed to feed myself and my children from my work. I work in a shop 10 hours a day, and then I do more work at night. This is how I have managed to sustain us for 3 years. I was able to leave my Shendel with Mr. Turkin. I met him only a few months ago. He and his wife are very decent people. They took Shendel under their care with love. Angie, you should be good parents to her, and you should take care of her with love. I am writing this letter to you during the last days of my life. We are expecting death any time now. We know what kind of death to expect. My dearest, the end is bitter and tragic. I thank God for Mr. Turkin. I am sure that he and his wife will care for and will save my child's life. My dearest, I see the angel of death before me. I don't believe even a miracle can help us now. My little son Bovek and I are the last sacrificial victims. My dear ones, I write this letter with blood instead of ink. I am confused. The only thing that makes it easier on my heart is knowing that Shendel will be saved. She is in good hands with good people. My dearest, be good parents to your children and to my little girl. I can feel at this moment the pain in your heart when you read this letter. It is not our fault. We are innocent. Our future is lost, and it cannot be changed. I am walking around like a crazy woman. It is terrible to die when your mind knows everything that is going to happen and you can see the angel of death before you. It hurts me terribly. It breaks my heart to have to write this letter to you. But you must know what happened to your family and how they disappeared. Our loving mother of blessed memory, thank God, died of natural causes in the year 1942. The date is 6 Tammuz. You should observe the yahrzeit of our mother's death. Father was killed 3 months later by the murderers. I am sorry to say that from the whole family, nobody is alive. We are the last. We are in danger. There is no possible way for us to live through this. Angie, my beloved sister, be strong and courageous. Take revenge. We do not have our way out. We cannot run. We are surrounded on all sides. I cannot write anymore. I do not want to pain you. This is the last letter from me to you. Be well, your sister Toby. And one day later, July 28th, Dąbrowa was declared Judenrein, Jew-free. And 4 days later, my mother and my brother were murdered in Birkenau.